Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Michael, and I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. And I am doing something a little bit different. I am streaming the Odin project. This is something I've been working on in my free time for the past, let's say, couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, on and off. Uh, been pretty busy at work, so I haven't gotten too far, but actually did get past the HTML portion and I'm onto the styling and CSS portion here. I just completed the first CSS methods project within the overarching introduction of the whole Odin project as itself. As you can see here, I have this index HTML file which links to the CSS file. I just had to replicate these three styles for this div container or empty box with this text inside, this paragraph, um, and then this button. I had to use an external linking method, a link style method in the header, and then an internal, and then a inline method for the button via this line here. Now I'm just continuing on with with this. Let me go ahead and actually split my screen here so I can keep up with any visitors. Chat. Cool. Nice. All right. So I am just completed that first um, project in the foundations curriculum for the Odin project. Now I'm on class ID selectors. So let me go. Let me open up my terminal here. I'll bring this over so we can see it. Let me cd to my repos. Let me ls here. Okay, let's go. We want to go cd into the CSS exercises. Let's ls into here. We see we have we need to cd into the foundations. Let's see what's going on here. We need to go to the O2. Can I just copy paste this rather than having to type it? That'd be nice. Yes, I can. Okay, now let's just go ahead and code this. I'll bring my file over here. Let me actually get out of this guy. Bring this over. Bring this out. Cool. All right, so we have this README here. So they give us the style sheet in this next problem. In the first problem, we actually had to do the linking ourselves, but now they're just going to link it for us. So this is class and ID selectors. Knowing how to add class and ID attributes to HTML elements as well as use their respective selectors is invaluable. It is important to practice using them. There are several elements in the HTML file provided which you will have to add either class or ID attributes to. As noted in the outcome image below, you will then have to add rules, in the CSS file provided using the correct selector syntax. Look over the outcome images carefully and try to keep in mind which elements look similarly styled classes, which ones may be completely unique from the rest, ID, and which ones have slight variations from others, multiple classes. It isn't entirely important which class or ID values you use, as the focus here is on being able to add the attributes and use the correct selector syntax to style elements. For the colors in this exercise, try using non-keyword values. RGB, hex, or HSL. The properties you need to add to each element are all odd number elements, a light red/pink background, and a list of fonts containing Verdana and Deja Vu sans with sans serif as fallback. The second element, blue text and font size of 36 pixels. The third element, in addition to the styles for all odd numbered elements, Add a font size of 24 pixels. The fourth element, a light green background and a font of 24 pixels in bold. Quick tip, in VS Code you can change which format colors are displayed in RGB, hex, or HSL by hovering over the color value in CSS and clicking the top of the pop-up that appears. Note, part of your task is to add a font to _some_ for these items. Your browser's font may be different than the one displayed in the desired outcome images, as long as you can confirm that the fonts are being applied to the right lines. Any differences are okay for this exercise. Desired outcome. Okay, let's go ahead and check out this. Can I take this PNG out of here? Okay, so that's our outcome. Let me go and quit that. So all odd numbered elements, a light, so 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so basically I have to just replicate this. I'm pretty confident I can just kind of see something and kind of replicate it just via trial and error. But it's a whole different ballgame coming up with like unique ideas. But okay, so let's go ahead and load up this HTML doc. So we have a title of class ID and selectors. We're a style sheet linked to the CSS file, which is here. And there's nothing on it, it's blank. Okay. So we have a body. Our first line is a paragraph. Our second line is a div. Box. Our third is paragraph, div, paragraph. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter where we embed these styles. I'm guessing it wants us to do it in the style CSS file itself. So let's go ahead and focus on that. Kitty. Got Kitty here. Keeping me support. Alright. So in the tutorial, it talked about kind of parent classing and like embedding things like that. But see, I don't know. I'm a class. Okay, so in order to give a class something, let me go up here to the tutorial. So you just put it right inside the paragraph here. Class equals what would this class be? Alert text number 1. I don't really. What would we name this class? So let me go ahead and actually bring this up. Ooh. Bring this up here. So I have this class here. So let me go to my style sheet. Let me go. What would you do? So to access the class would be dot number 1, right? Like so. Color. like coral. What else does it have? The desired input has. Let's go back to README. So let's actually make this class odd, right? So if I take this and make this class odd, because it wants odd number elements, right? So all my odd number elements will have, under this class will have these attributes. Okay. The README. All light pink background and a list of fonts containing Verdana, Deja Vu Sans, and Sans Serif. So font family, we want to do quote Verdana. Oh no, we want to go to the CSS file. Verdana, we want to do Deja Vu Sans. Like that, right? And then sans dash serif. I'm just gonna copy. Like so. Right? So now, let me just refresh this. Boom. Okay. Let's fall back. The second element, blue text, size. Okay. So what if I go, so this is my odd. This is what my odds have. Let's do, we want to give our HTML class, we want to give this div, we need to give it a class, an ID of number 2, right? So let's go our ID is, yeah, you give them as hashtags. So number 2 is going to have a style of blue text and a font size of 36. I want me to use hexes, so I'll come back and do that at the end. Font size of, what was it, 36 pixels. Okay, we have, I believe that was it for number 2. The third element, which all styles for all elements add a font in addition to so for this next one, we want to give it the class odd. But we also want to give it the class number 3. No, let's just give it class 3. num3. Let's try that. So we do dot num3. So it's going to inherit all the attributes of the odd, but also take in the class attributes from this num3, which we want it to have a different font. In addition to all size for odd elements, a font size of 24 pixels. Font size 24 pixels. Just like so, okay. So now if we save this up, boom. We're cooking right now. We got it. We're moving here. Okay. So inherited all of those. So for odd elements, the fourth element, a light green background and a font size of 24 pixels and bold. Okay, so we're trying to, here we go. So we have a div here. I'm gonna add another ID, so we gotta give this an ID of number 4. And then we'll save this. We'll come over here. We will do a hashtag number 4. We're accessing the number 4 element with the number 4 ID, and one that's going to give a background color of light green. We are going to give this a font size of, what was it, 24 pixels and bold. Yeah, 24 pixels, and then font weight, we want to give it bold, right? And I'll save this, we refresh. I'm going to put this up here. Like so. I'll put this down here. Let me actually delete this. Put this down here, like so. And this in. Oh, that's fine, whatever. Shoot. Messing things up here. Cool. Alright, nice. Alright, so if we look here, let's refresh this bad boy. Number 4, that's all it is, has a green background. No light green. So, okay. It's not the same type of green, but whatever. We'll change it in a second. Okay, so we have so far, and this is what we're trying to get. Number 5, I'm a class. So, what about the 5th element? I guess it just gets the class. Like so. I guess it just gets the odd class, right? And then that would take care of that. So let me go ahead and grab a light green color for this. Light green hex code. Images. 83F28F, 83F28F. Boom. Looks pretty close, maybe a little bit darker, but cool, that looks really good. I think we did it. Do shelf check, do all the P elements share a class? Odd, 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 yes. Do all the even numbers div elements have unique IDs? Div has an element number 2, div ID has a number 4, yep. And does the number 3 element have multiple classes? Yes, because we can add multiple classes by just separating them with a space, I believe was the... Yeah. You can access what a dot subject does is it selects any element that has okay, so okay, dot odd dot number that doesn't change anything, doesn't break anything. I think that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, so let's check the solution here. I'm gonna go to the CSS file and then the HTML. Okay. Okay, so the solution, they put solution CSS odd 2 4 just font size. So they put a whole nother class. Number 4 I wanted so what they did is they did, yeah, looks like mine. They took the blue value for 2, the ID selector for below. We could have also added a rule set the font size to 24, however since. Ah, okay, so this is exactly what I was looking for. They're smart in doing this. So what they did is they, well, instead of me, so both this line right here and this line right here require the font size 24 text, right? 24 pixel text and 24 pixel text for the third and fourth element. So they just created another class rather than what I did is I just styled right here. I put it in here. Okay. So light coral. Let's click to the RGB of that. Let's go here. Let's click to the hex code of that. And what green did they use? I want to take this green. 80FF. I'm gonna put these ones right here. Okay. Okay, we both did it the same way. We just had different approaches to the font size 24 pixels. Cool. All right, that one is completed. Right? It wants me to use. Okay, so I'll adapt to what it's wanting. So it's wanting for number. So what they did is they put a class here, and they set it equal to num3. No. Font size. So then they came over here. They added a class. Like so. And then they just did font size. And they changed it to 24 pixels. Right? So then we can get rid of this and put this to change font size class, save, and then just delete this. Right? So now if we refresh this, nothing should have changed. Yep. Boom! Got it. All right, so let's just recap. So in our index HTML page, we have our normal doc type set up, UTF-8, but we link a void link, which relationship is the style sheet, and href is the style.hss or .css file in here. We have in our body we have the P first line, or which is a paragraph anchor, and it has the class odd, and all these class odds has this pink background and a font family of these three. The div second line here associated with this number 2 I'm one ID. We give it an ID parameter and we call this number 2. Number 2 is styled with the color blue with this hex code and has a font size of 36. We again run into a P anchor, paragraph anchor, where we give it 2 classes here, which are separated by spaces. The first class is odd, and which takes on the class from line 1, which is the pink background and the font type. And this one also gets the change font size class as well, which changes the font size to 24. The next div line 4, takes in as an ID of number 4, similar to that of number 2, where number 4 has a background color of light green and has a bold font weight. And it also takes in the same class of changed font size as the 24 pixels. Our 5th element here is another paragraph where we give it the same class odd because it's number 5, and that's the only element, only attribute applied to the element. And then if we just save all this and we refresh, this is what it looks like, and this was what our desired was. So as you can see, our fonts are the same in this case, right? We're bold in the 3rd one, right? Number 3 has odd, change font size to 36 or to 24, so it's bigger than this one. This one is bolded, right? It's the only one that's bolded, and number 5 is just the pink one. It's the same as the first one. Sweet. So that is the second problem in the Foundations course, the class ID dash selectors. Moving on to the group selectors problem. Let's go ahead and open up the terminal. Let's cd out of here. I didn't mean to go all the way back, but let's cd repos. Right, let's ls here. Cd CSS dash exercises. Let's ls here. Let's see, we want the cd foundations. Let's see here, we want the O3 group selectors. We want to cd into this guy. And then we want to code this file. So let's go ahead and exit out of that, put this over, and boom, we are ready to go here. So let's go to the README for this problem. A Git repository is found in the parent folders of the workspace of the open. Would you like to open the repository? Let's just wait. I don't know what that meant. Plane going by here. Let's give that a second. Sorry. Alright, so we are looking at group selectors here. Grouping selectors. Let's build a little off the previous exercise. Here you're going to give 2 elements, each a unique class name. Then add rules for styling that both elements share, as well as their own unique styles, okay? You have to give 2 elements, each a unique class name. Make sure that you take a good look at the outcome images below to see exactly what is unique about each element and what both elements have in common. This will help you further practice adding classes and using class selectors, so be sure to add the class attribute in the HTML file. For the remainder of those exercises, the format of any colors is entirely up to you. We'll trust you practice using different values. The properties you need to add each element are, okay, the first element, a black background and white text. So let's go ahead and let me open this up. Click me, no click me. Okay, cool. Let's open our HTML file. Get my call here, hold on. Let's my lady friend. All right, sorry about that. I had to take a call real quick. All right, so we have just a regular doc type. It's linking to the style sheet. We have title grouping selectors here. In our body, we have a button, which is click me, and another button, which is no click me. So if I go ahead and just load this into my thing here, we just have a blank button here. No styling effects on them at all. Right? So the first element, a black background and white text. Okay? So we need each element has to have a unique class name. Did you use the grouping selectors for styles that both elements share? Make sure, did you separate rules for the styles unique to each element? So grouping, combinators allow us to combine multiple selectors differently than either grouping or chaining them. Chaining, grouping selectors. What if we have two groups of elements that share style declarations? Red and unread. Dot red, dot unread, dot red, unread. Okay. Okay, gotcha. So this will be. Hey, how's it going? I'm on stream right now.
I love days like today where it's really gloomy in the morning and
I'm on stream right now.
oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. You can talk. I'm just working on this project thing. Button. So in this button, we want to give it a unique class name of, let's just say, click dash me, right? And then this one we want to give it a class name of no click me, right? So now they have two unique class names, and if we go to style these, well, we can style them both at the same time by calling dot click me, and then we can call comma dot not no click me, and then we can just style these like so. So it wants a background color, both elements, a font size of 24 pixels, and a list of fonts containing these fonts. Okay. 28 pixels, so font size 28 pixels, and then whoops, did not mean to do that. Font size 28 pixels, and then we want a font family of, say, Helvetica. Let me delete. This guy here, here, times, like so, and then sans serif, like so. Okay, and then it has a font, family, font size of, how much was it? I think I erased before. 28 pixels. let's go ahead and put that like that. So then if we give the individual attributes, like so, we can style them individually. Now to style them individually, the first element, a black background and white text. Background color, black. Color of text is white. Right? And then the dot no click me has a the second element, yellow background. Background color, yellow. Like so. So now if we save that and we refresh, boom! That is it. That looks exactly like it. Oh, this guy, you're bumping my thing. Throw the ball. Alright, that turned out exactly how we were hoping. Oop, it just got rid of my formatting here. Alright. Oop, let's go back here. It's not updating my scene here. Alright, I'm going to take a little break here, grab some lunch, but this has been the first 3 problems of the, what was it, the foundations course of the CSS. There's so many labels to this thing. What was it called? CSS exercises? Yeah, CSS exercises. This is 1, 2, and 3 CSS methods, class ID selectors, and grouping selectors. I have 3 more, 4, 5, and 6 chaining selectors, descendant combinators, and cascade fix. And then we move on. I think that's it for foundations course, for at least this CSS exercises. But I'll be back later to complete those ones.